Welcome to the Archotechs, a RimWorld fluid ideology series about pursuing the Archonexus. Episode 73, Pump and Drill. To briefly recap last episode, I had some sort of crazy premonition and decided to make some sniper rifles, which came perfectly in handy for the mech hive breach assault that came in towards the end of last episode. We also had Bunny head over to a worshipful village, and she managed to hack it and get yet one more piece of information about the relic of hegemony. Did I say that right? Hegemony. There we go. And then we made a little chem fuel storage area so that our base doesn't go up in flames, because I've had that happen to me before. And expanding the moisture pump a little bit as well, so that we can secure our perimeter. Everyone's asleep after a 1 a.m. wrap up to the raid. Okay, good. I'm just making sure the fire was not going to overtake the components. It would be nice not to have to make my own components. So there goes that little mech raid. What I'm hoping to do this episode, as the wealth in this colony climbs, is I am going to need to tackle the Grand Architect structure. I was hoping to get the relic so that we could run some rituals, which would have very high positive effects because of all three relics being present, but it's only really a difference of like one mood from 2 to 3. So instead, I think I will get Sven to start hacking the Grand Architect structure. Another thing I wanted to try to do is to call in some trades so that I might be able to get a psychic foil hat. You know, tinfoil hat to keep me nice and protected. Who expects scarification? There's a bit of a bug where if you enslave people and then you sell them into slavery and get rid of them or donate them or whatever, you end up with just a scarification expectation, which is incorrect, because I do believe that everybody in the colony has scarified, and that's just a remnant of the slaves that I've gotten rid of. Oh, speaking of which, here's a royal tribute collector that I absolutely have nothing for. So, yeah, I don't have gold for you, and I don't have tribute slaves. But you can hang around if you want, although my guess is you're going to leave basically immediately due to the fact that it is really stupidly cold here on my little map tile. All right, now that everybody's back up, it is about past time to switch their rifles up. So I'm going to queue it up as a to-do at your next convenience. I probably should give Zleb the legendary, but given that Bunny loves to kill things, I'm going to give it to Bunny instead. I think Zleb originally had it. As far as research goes, we are working on jump packs and then subsequently recon armor so that we can replace some of the locust armor that has been wearing down. We've also noticed, and this was a few episodes ago, that our pants wore out. So, you know, had to get new pants. That's how it goes. All right, I think I'm going to switch over this hill route to... Well, my beer's still fine. I could plant Devil Strand. Or how much dye do I have? Maybe Tinctoria. Yeah, I'll do a quick run of Tinctoria. I like how they navigate around the fires. No concern as to why it's on fire, just that they have to get around the fire. So I'm sort of curious, through the force of my psycasting, if it would be possible to just not have a formal kill box. Unlike the other ways to win RimWorld with the ship launch or the leaving with the Empress, the Architect doesn't crescendo like that, which means it doesn't really require you to have a well-defended base. Whereas, of course, defending against the, the AI reactor raids or the Empress taking you to space, crescendos in a very violent way. So my guess is no. I'll probably be able to get away with not having a formal defense structure. All right, just making sure to keep the moisture pumps nice and protected behind walls where scythers and, well, pretty much just scythers and other mechs don't go for it. They like to go for those things. I don't have any sort of protection on my power grid, though. It's way out in the open except for the vanometric power cell and the geothermal generator, so that is a huge point of vulnerability. One thing I could do is to try to trap, or tap, rather, another steam geyser. And then wall that steam geyser in to keep it protected. It's not foolproof, because, yeah, raiders could go through the walls. Where are the other guy? Oh, here it is. It actually might be easier to tap this one. Just because it's a straight run from my power grid. Yeah, I could. Space already occupied. Oh, right. The ancient centipede shells blocking it in. So as far as terrain affordance, it doesn't really matter because there's no open water for a waterproof conduit, which would require 10 times the steel to go through. You know what? I take it back. I'm going to do the eastern one. I think given that most of the raids come from the south, that's more vulnerable over there. So geothermal generator will be here, which means that I need to clear out some plant life around that area. And go ahead and run power cables out here. What's weird is there is some, like mud, where you can't build regular cables, can't build waterproof cables, so you're having to bridge to build regular cables. I feel like that might not be intended behavior. If you ask me, it's very strange that there are no cables that can be made on mud. But it is what it is. So I follow the rules because I'm forced to. But another candidate for possible moisture pumping. Possible. Kind of not highly needed, though. Why was bear meat here? Oh, maybe when I drafted them or something? I'm not really sure. Well, they've hung out way longer than I thought they would. I'll give them credit. I am impressed. I would have thought they would have left by now. And the first moisture pump's zone has expanded, as has this moisture pump. And what I like to do is, as soon as I can replace the wooden walls with stone ones, to do just that for safety's sake. Because wooden walls, of course, can burn. And if anyone has seen new players and their bases, they very well know that it's almost a meme that everyone's first colony goes up in complete flames. So for this to be my, like, millionth colony, I best avoid that pitfall. I've even gone so far as to add stone furniture that won't burn out of complete and utter paranoia. So when both power sun lamps are on, I am running a bit in the negative. I'm pretty reliant on solar to offset. That's important to keep in mind. And no luck is idle. Idle because I am out of stone completely. So I'm going to allow no luck to cut stones. A task beneath a colonist, but I really haven't had a lot of opportunity to enslave others. For anyone that has been paying attention, it is because my weapons are too good. As soon as people show up at my map tile, they die very, very, very quickly. They do not survive long enough to even be enslaved because my weapons do too much. That's weird. No luck was idle, but could be cutting stone. So, yeah, that doesn't make much sense. And Bunny's coming out here to clear the spot. The shame of T-Lu. Well, you are a 51-year-old digger. That means you're tribal. So here's my thinking. You are a slave. Hey, T. Oh, look at you. Budding artist and a miner. So you mine. Good. Chemical fascination. Well, I have bad news for you. You're not going to be allowed to do any drugs. In fact, I am going to immediately arrest you. Yeah, not much of a charity, is it? Whoever was coming to kill you, well, they'll have to free you first. So they came with some sort of unknown threat. Some random threat. It's probably not worth bringing in yet another slave, because I don't really have a lot of mining needs in this colony, but I don't know. We're evil. I like enslaving people. What can I say? Well, there you go, T. You will be given simple meals, I guess. The food that I feed my horses. I know it's odd that, you know, we have horses still on simple meals, but that's just the way I am. This colony is weird and I like it. And I should rename your name to Slave 3, but we're going to be converting you first. So you know how I was waiting for positive rituals? Well, now we have a conversion ritual we could run. And if I didn't like him, I would have just executed him and it would have been the same deal. Same mood benefit, different result. So what do you believe in? Ah, you're an ancient soldier. Or at least you believe in what the ancient soldiers believe. The ancients. And it was a weather controller. Controlled by 5 tribespeople. And maybe an unknown threat. And the weather controller is forcing... Well, it's not forcing clear, so I don't think it's updated yet. Rainy thunderstorm. Oh boy, I don't like rainy thunderstorms because they are so loud. And it's nice for like, I don't know, a few minutes to have a rainy thunderstorm, but then it gets real old real fast. Which is funny because in real life, I really don't mind rainy thunderstorms as long as my power doesn't get cut. But in game, no, totally different. Rainy thunderstorms in game are obnoxious to me. Alright, so that's the full plank cut. And then the other thing I'm going to want to do here is construct a wall around it so that it cannot get easily destroyed. Easily being the chief word there, because obviously it can be destroyed just with a bit more effort. So it is a forced weather event over here, and I think what I'll do is I will take Bunny and Zleb and some horses, pod them on over and clear the site lickety-split nice and quick, so I don't have to listen to, well, broadly gestures at everything. Shay and Tombolo are starving, so I am out of fine meals, so they are going to be back to simple meals as well. I'm going to wake them up so they can eat. I had transitioned over from fine to lavish, and then had these slaves finish off the fine meals, and it took for them to be starving for me to notice that, well, gotta fix that. Shay, you are idle. Oh, you're forced inside. Yeah, that's my fault. Go forth and do stuff. They were forced inside because of the mech raid that came, but obviously that mech raid is over. The threat is gone, and... Shay, I am going to have you haul over mine. And then as soon as Bunny is done cutting all the plants that are in the way. I'll have her and Zleb head on out. I'm also going to concrete it up so that there's no natural vegetation growth. And then I will also remove the roof. Not that that would really matter, because if it got really hot in there, who cares? Alright, so the plants are cleared. It is time. Given what I'm sending, I probably need 4 transport pods. It will be 1, 2... Zleb Bunny? Oh, I might be able to get away with 3 pods. Yeah. I'm under the weight. Days of food don't seem to be... Oh, well, okay. It doesn't realize that the horses would eat rice. That's fine. Some Glow World beds. I won't need much unless the unknown threat is really threatening. And... Except. If one of those horses is pregnant, it's really early on in the pregnancy, so it hasn't shown yet. So it should be just fine. And Slave 3 is at a days. Well, you won't last long here. I warn you. Okay. Weather site. I'm landing in a swamp. The weather site's obviously here. And then these tribals have Ikla? Oh, Lord, are you not prepared for this? You have 2 of the best shooters on the planet equipped with weapons and psycasts, and you have little pointy sticks? My goodness. It's like when you're playing Civilization 6 and you find someone that has devastatingly fell behind technology-wise. Oh, now they have 1 bow. So they show up to your tanks with like a spearman and you go, oh, little one. You try so hard. But this won't work for you. So it is an ambush of 1 Scyther. Really? That's all that you could do? Hey, Bunny, don't even fight the Scyther. Let's have you, my dear, get kills on the humanoids. Zleb will handle the Scyther. Or actually, well, yeah, Zleb will handle the Scyther. I want you to go murder Green. Okay, Green's dead. And let's get with Kala too. Make sure that there's no humans left alive. Maximizing that lovely mood of yours. Alright, Scyther's got warped up there. Pathetic little ambush, I gotta say. I am disappointed. I was hoping for something fun. Alright, but it is safe. Everyone is dead, and I'll go destroy the weather site. We have researched jetpacks, or jump packs, so recon armor is next. It's only around the corner. Oh, this is a party. I was wondering why they weren't working. Some party? You got no tea or beer? I can't store beer here because, you know, slaves being stupid and trying to fight me with beer bottles. These tribals had interesting ideas. You know, keeping gibbet cages. That's nice. All right, I will reform caravan and head home. Bunch of wolf skin beds. They weren't much of wolves, were they? We'll bring the wood with us. And... yeah, that's it. Homeward bound. Weather event concluded. Oh. Very nice. The originals are expanding. This one's going to be a little annoying because it's going to be unroofed briefly as I replace the roof. But we'll get that replaced quickly. These guys will be home tonight, maybe. Oh, this... Oh, remove bridge, yes. There we go. I was like, support's heavy. I saw that it expanded, but it's because the bridge underneath still needs to get stripped out. And then over here, same deal. Remove the bridges and then replace it with actual stone. Except for I'm completely out of limestone blocks. Well then. Where are the closest chunks? This map tile is like devoid of limestone now. We've done way too good of a job stone cutting, I guess. What I could do is switch these over from any stone blocks to limestone blocks. And then the slaves will cut the limestone. They'll run out to wherever there is limestone. So I think in the meantime here, I can just put marble so that we are not unroofed. But note to self, limestone blocks are necessary. Something else I could do is to turn this on and to figure out what materials are underneath the deep drills. I don't love the idea of deep drilling for chunks, but like I'll do it. Especially if the reward is to kill some bugs, because I like killing bugs. Slave 3 is still psychotically wandering. So maybe tomorrow I'll run the conversion ritual trying to speed up that process. I'm not patient. All right, we are getting, oh, that was marble. Are the slaves cutting any limestone? Shay, if I told you, oh, I guess No Luck is getting some? Yes. So there is limestone, it exists on the map, it's just very far away. Got it. So we'll have this all fixed up soon. I think what I'll do for visual sake is temporary walls will be slate to be removed at a later date. And then permanent ones that are going to be limestone, can be limestone now. So that when everything is nice and the moisture pumps are at full spread, it is very obvious what needs to be broken down and removed and what stays. No, I thought we were spreading the Tinctoria outside into the Psychite, and I was like, I didn't make that change. So, conversion ritual. Here we go. Oh, I can't because the prisoner's insane. Right, okay. Waiting on you, buddy. Word from the Rise, however, don't keep an architect waiting. They get stabby and murdery. There we go. Now, I don't have a lot of participants, so the expected quality of this conversion ritual isn't that high, which is a bit of a concern because I don't really want a failure if I want to start analyzing the structure. But there's a pretty high chance that this does not go well. But if it doesn't, I'll just starve them some more. For funsies. A bulk goods trader. Oh, it was effective. So down to 38. And then Bunny can use convert to push it a little further. Once he's awake. So 2 relics at ritual and effective conversion is another +6 to mood. Very nice. Now, I'm a little afraid, because these bulk goods traders are tribal, that they're going to leave due to the cold temperatures, so I'm going to trade with them now, even though they're not quite in position. Because if they have anything I need, they're about to take off, I am fairly certain, due to how frigid it is. I'll go ahead and sell the foals that I have, because, you know, it's annoying to feed them. And sell the miscellaneous leathers as well that I'm not really using. I have no idea how I have a good quality cloth duster. How Trustin would have made something that shoddy. I have no idea. Is there anything I want to buy? I'll buy some cougar meat just to balance the budget. Done. They don't particularly like me. Question. Did the... I don't really want a caravan from the Brio people, but I guess I'll call one. They're my ally. Trade caravan of a shaman merchant. What I'm hoping to find is like a psychofoil hat. I'm not actually certain that psychofoil hats can even be on tribal shaman, but sometimes the tribal shaman have things like insanity lances. So yeah, you never know. There we go. Geothermal generator added. Across the pond. My colonists are over the moon. Could not be any happier. Not really. They're like near max. And we're down to 15. Down from like 80 or something a day ago. Not very certain about your ideology, are you there, buddy? Losing faith rather quickly, it seems. So over here, following my same schema, these are going to be slate. Indicating that it is, in fact, temporary. And this is spreading it again. That was fast. Was that due? Maybe that's the first one I built? Okay. Looking good. They're making a bit of a mess down here. I could use a little bit more meat in my stockpile, and I like hunting big things, so I'm just going to make a point in hunting the things that can fight back. Got to establish dominance on this map tile. It's not like the animals will understand what's going on, but I will. Oh, I have a big quest. A monstrous structure. Well, here's the thing. I am in a swamp. There's basically no way for me to build anything big. So no. It's one thing that I'm sort of scratching my head about with RimWorld is, I mean, I understand, but it's on certain map tiles, like the swamps, you obviously can't build large structures because trade affordance is awful, right? It's very, very difficult to get a large enough area that can support said structure. I guess hypothetically I could build one here, but it's so far from the base. But it offers you those quests anyway, even though they're more or less unaccomplishable. But with that said, I'm not really sure that I would modify it to be any easier. Because that's, I guess, the challenge sometimes. Alright, little hunting. Now, one of the things I was thinking about doing is trying to become allied with Westhania. The reason is I have the highest natural goodwill with them, and I might be able to call in caravans from them. Or alternatively, I could just save my wealth and build it up to the 350 mark, which might make more sense. But I'm definitely on the fence. I probably don't need a third thing of Tinctoria, so we'll switch this back over to... I'll do cotton. Another project I could undertake is a dedicated weapon storage. The reason why I haven't been building these types of structures is because of the terrain affordance. It's really difficult to find a physical space that is not compromised in some way, because so much of this map is swampy. I'd like to build up here, but it's going to be a long time before the terrain spreads to the point where I can build up this way. I guess, with that said, it would make sense to start expanding the zones. So I'll put down more moisture pumps, trying to pump away the moisture. I'm gonna need to move the the mini turret. That's another thing that I haven't done yet is the autocannon turret. I expressed an interest to try to get an autocannon turret systems up around the perimeter here, but I really haven't had a ground scan of... Well, I haven't even tried to do ground scanning, but if I did, I definitely haven't scanned any plasteel yet. I'm just moving around the deep drill to try to find limestone. Oh, this is where it's most dangerous to roof them up, because they're not supported by any adjacent structures. So it's moisture pumps like these that tend to end up with your head cut off. Just an FYI. And Slave 3 has converted. So next up, Enslave. An Exoticus trader flying overhead. Good, good, good. Let's see here. A shield core. 2 shield cores would be nice. Oh, Cataphract armor. I don't think I am going down that road again. I am very interested in the Architect arm, though, and the lances. So if I wanted to buy these things... Oh, and the Mega Screen TV. So if I wanted to buy all these things, I am going to have to remove some art. and put it up for sale. Sorry, no luck. I don't even really need art in this room because it's impressive enough without it. So let's go make big changes. Animals. Oh, you have been inside this whole time? Lord, that is a waste of your talents. I trained you to haul, and then I don't use you to haul? That's embarrassing on my part. So all but the bedroom art, and the bedroom art is required because otherwise it isn't dignified and doesn't meet the minimum requirements. So let's see if this works. I could also part with some other things like, well, we'll see. We'll see if it's necessary. So I do want the arm, the lances. And that puts me in the whole 6K. I only have about 5, so... Oh, there we go. So the shield cores are going to let me manufacture low shield packs. Actually, I already have the queue up here, making shield cores forever. Because low shield packs are pretty invaluable when you're faced with overwhelming range. The shrine is still above 120. The throne room easily meeting the 120 mark. Now I have an architect arm. I had always mentioned that I thought that Trustin would manufacture even faster with architect arms. And yeah, that's, I think, the recipient. So when he goes to sleep, I'm going to run the surgery. And there is the moisture pumps working. I might add to the network as well, put one up here. And what was the spacing on this? 7, 7. So the first one's 8, but we'll ignore that. So I'm going to put one there. Because I can't put it on the mud anyway. Alright, so 2 more moisture pumps, and I'll probably be all set with moisture pumps for the foreseeable future. I can't imagine needing more than this. This one I'll need to run power out to, which is annoying because it's the same issue as before where there's mud, so I have to build stupid bridges, but, you know, whatever. All right, let's cut the plants that block us. And the new geothermal generator that I made easily generates enough power for the moisture pumps to run. As soon as the solar lamps go off, I have an excess of about 1,000, which is no problem at all. Oh, is it swampy up here too? Yeah, darn. I have to put a bridge. All right, looking good. Looking really good. Slave 3. Your resistance is actually relatively high. I'm surprised. Trustin is asleep, And the room in there might be a little dark, so noted. So what I'm going to be doing is installing the right architect arm. I'll do this with glycerol meds. Before I do it, we're solar pinholing, which is probably the rudest way to be woken up in the middle of the night. I have the shaman merchant that I paid to come in, showing up. Another thing is I have no idea what was following Slave 3. I don't believe that, wait, Trustin, oh, he went to the hospital. I don't believe that, that we have had some sort of event follow Slave 3 yet, so that is still pending. And then the arm that he won't need anymore will go to No Luck, who obviously needs the manipulation for the art. So No Luck, you're going to get yourself an architect arm. The reason why I hadn't more heavily invested in bionics for Zaleb and No Luck is each time I did the Arcanexus quest, there was a possibility that they were left behind. So I didn't invest in them not knowing whether they would continue to follow us around. So I just didn't. Wow, you're resistant. Oh, okay. You're enslaved. Cool. So if we take a look here, put you on the slave zoning. Slave clothing. No drugs, which will be bad for you because you are going to have a bit of a mental break due to their desire for drugs. And you'll be put on construction and mining. It's odd that you'll be on construction, but if anything matters for quality, I'll make sure that Slave 3 doesn't do it. Slave 3 will also require clothing. And the buzz cut that we do for all of the new slaves. No hair, no beard, no tattoos, none of your previous identity. Now, one thing I will probably do with Slave 3 is not keep them long term. We're just keeping them for now because I don't like chemical fascinated slaves ever. So they are very temporary for that reason. But let's go ahead and over to the tailor bench and make tribal wear, body strap, toque, and collar. I don't think I have any materials in the colony that I care about, like thrombo fur, so really any material that Trustin wants to make it out of is fine. Alright, that shaman merchant, I called you in, I paid for it, in reputation. You have lances, but you do not have anything beyond lances. Yeah, I think the shamans really only ever carry lances. And never really, foil hats. That's probably not allowed. So we're gonna break even here, selling some herbal meds. I am now broke completely. But we have the insanity lances that we can then equip on our people, which should keep them protected from raids. Insanity lances I rely very heavily upon at times. So, No Luck and Trustin are up. I don't even have bionic replacements or prosthetics researched yet. Oh, Slave 3, you hit compacted machinery. You're also going to become violently hypothermic because of your lack of clothing. I do find this rather funny, but you're also not that productive being as cold as you are, so I will get you some tribal wear. And then we'll dye everything our ideology colors. I think I will also require another... Oh, Shay, you cold-blooded. Snake that right out from under Slave 3. I don't think I have another shield belt, because this one isn't counting because it's legendary. It's too high quality for these slaves to use, so I'm going to need another shield belt because Slave 3 already has his. the strap, the toque, and the collar. All right. He can weather the temperature a little bit better. He doesn't have the collar on yet, so his suppression is falling per day. But I'm not worried about him running away, and if he does, we'll shoot him. Because that's what Archotechs do. It's also warming up, because it's mid-April now. Well, my friends, that is all the time I have. Thank you for tuning in to the Archotechs, episode 73, Pump and Drill. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com, or the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons that support the content, and Twitch subscribers and Twitch viewers that watch live. I'll have to catch you in next episode. Farewell.